Pablo Escobar. He wasn't just a drug lord, he was a one-man economy. At his peak, Pablo Escobar pulled in $420 million a week, more than some countries made in a year. His cartel controlled 80% of the world's cocaine, and his money came in so fast, his accountants wrote off $2 billion a year to rats, water damage, and mold. He bought airports, he bought politicians, he bought entire neighborhoods. In Medellin's poorest areas, he built homes, schools, and soccer fields. To them, he wasn't a criminal, he was a savior. But the other side, brutal. He bombed airliners, assassinated judges, killed presidential candidates, and waged a private war against the Colombian state. His prison, he built it himself, complete with a nightclub, waterfall, and his own rules. When the government tried to move him, he escaped without hesitation. Even his imported hippos still roam Colombia decades later. Escobar didn't just get rich, criminal wealth could become. El Chapo Guzman. If Escobar built the cocaine empire, El Chapo industrialized it. While the world mocked his height, he quietly built a criminal machine that earned over $14 billion, a system so powerful the DEA called it the most dangerous drug operation on Earth. His tunnels were legendary. Not holes, tunnels. Rail systems, ventilation, electricity. An underground subway built for cocaine. He controlled entire regions through loyalty bought in cash. Cops, mayors, military officers, politicians. One witness claimed he paid a sitting president $100 million for protection. Luxury? He didn't just collect it, he curated it. Private zoos, fleets of armored cars, jewelry vaults, villas across continents, and prisons? They weren't places he went to serve time. They were pit stops. His first escape, hidden inside a laundry cart. His second, a mile-long tunnel dug directly to his shower floor, with rails and a motorcycle. But power has a price. After his final capture, he was extradited to the US and sentenced to life. His sons, however, are still very much running the brand he created. El Chapo wasn't just rich. He became a myth, a name whispered in the same tone people use for hurricanes. Griselda Blanco. Before cartels became global corporations, there was one woman who ruled the trade with fear, brilliance, and blood. Griselda Blanco, the Black Widow. At her peak, she made $80 million a month. That's nearly $3 million every single day from an operation she built long before Miami became the cocaine capital of the world. Her methods, creative, efficient, unmatched for her time. She smuggled cocaine in bras, girdles, baby carriages, anything that passed under the radar. But what truly separated her wasn't strategy. It was ruthlessness. She ordered hits the way other people order lunch. She allegedly had rivals killed at Disney World. Lovers who annoyed her disappeared. Her own bodyguard once said she had more kills than the men she competed against. She helped ignite the cocaine cowboy era, flooding Miami with so much product the city felt like a war zone. Her fortune bought mansions, diamonds, power, yet she lived in paranoia, surrounded by people who feared her more than they respected her. Eventually arrested, deported, and living quietly, she died exactly the way she lived, shot in the street, no mercy, no second chance. Griselda didn't just become rich, she became a legend in a world ruled by men, and she beat them at their own games. Ismael Mayo Zambada. If Escobar was the king and El Chapo was the face, Mayo Zambada was the phantom who outlived them all. In 40+ years, he built a billion-dollar empire without ever spending a single night in a US prison. Not once. Not even for an hour. While others chased fame, he chased invisibility. No flashy cars, no Instagram narco lifestyle, no selfies with tigers, just silence and strategy. He turned the Sinaloa cartel into a multinational machine. Meth, cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, moving through land, sea, and air routes like a private logistics company. His secret? Decentralization. He ran his cartel like a CEO, not a warlord. If one branch fell, another rose instantly. The empire never stopped. His estimated earnings rivaled El Chapo's billions, but unlike Chapo, he didn't brag, didn't seek glory, and never gave authorities leverage. One detail explains his power better than any statistic. When his son was captured and extradited, El Mayo didn't launch a war. He stayed calm, untouched, still operating. In a world where drug lords die young, El Mayo proved the most dangerous weapon isn't violence, it's patience. Amado Carrillo Fuentes, the Lord of the Skies. Most drug lords used roads and tunnels. Amado Carrillo Fuentes used the sky. While others smuggled kilos, he smuggled tons, flying billions of dollars worth of cocaine in a private fleet of over 30 Boeing 727s. At one point, he owned more jets than Mexico's national airline. He negotiated directly with Colombian suppliers, cutting out middlemen, building routes so efficient the U.S. called him one of the most dangerous logisticians in cartel history. His houses were bunkers disguised as mansions, hidden tunnels, steel-reinforced walls, rooms that could survive military raids, but massive empires attract massive attention. Hunted by both U.S. and Mexican forces, he tried to vanish, literally. Plastic surgery, new identity, new face. He never woke up. He died on the operating table, and the surgeons who worked on him later turned up in concrete barrels. In life, he ruled the skies. In death, he reminded the world. In the cartel world, reinvention can be just as deadly as competition. Rafael Caro Quintero. Before the modern cartels, before tunnels, jets, and billion-dollar networks, there was Rafael Caro Quintero, the man who helped invent the business model everyone else copied. By age 35, he'd already made over $500 million. Not through secrecy, through scale. He built plantations so massive you could see them from the sky. Entire valleys filled with crops, guarded like military bases, producing thousands of tons every year. He had his own runway, exotic pets, armored convoys, and weddings that cost millions. But his real power wasn't the money, it was the blueprint. He co-founded the Guadalajara cartel, the structure that later exploded into the Sinaloa, Tijuana, and Juarez cartels. He built routes, built connections with Colombians, built the pipeline that would shape the next 40 years of trafficking, and then everything changed. In 1985, the murder of DEA agent Kiki Camarena triggered the largest manhunt in Mexico's history. Caro fled, got caught, spent decades in prison, then shockingly walked free in 2013 because of a legal technicality. He vanished into the mountains, lived as a ghost, and was recaptured in 2022. But the system, the world he engineered, still running, still deadly, still following the map he drew. Miguel Ángel Félix Gallardo. He wasn't the loudest, he wasn't the richest, he wasn't the most violent, but Miguel Ángel Félix Gallardo did something no one else had done. He organized the entire drug trade of Mexico. Before him, trafficking was chaos, small groups, local bosses, no structure. Gallardo changed all of it. A former police officer with political connections, he united every major smuggling route into one system, one organization, one empire. He created the plaza system. Each region had a manager, each manager paid a cut, and he handled all the high-level deals with Colombia. No chaos, no infighting, just business. He didn't flex with extravagance. He flexed with influence. His parties included governors, generals, businessmen, the type of people other cartel bosses feared to even call. At his peak, he was worth over $500 million, but his real currency was control. He ran the drug world like a CEO, not a warlord. That's why they called him El Padrino, the Godfather. But 1985 changed everything. The kidnapping and murder of DEA agent Kiki Camarena brought global heat under U.S. pressure, 1989. Yet even then, his final move reshaped Mexico. He divided his empire between his top lieutenants, a decision that created the Sinaloa, Tijuana, and Juarez cartels. The same cartels still fighting today. He didn't just get rich, he designed the system. And the system is still running on his blueprint. Drug empires don't last, but the legends behind them do. Each of these kingpins built wealth that rivaled nations through violence, fear, strategy, and absolute control. Some ruled with terror, some ruled with silence, some changed the entire structure of the drug world forever. But they all prove one thing. Money earned in the shadows only does two things. It grows fast and it ends violently. These were the billionaires of the underworld, the architects of chaos, the men and women who reshaped global crime. And whether they died in streets, prisons, or operating rooms, their impact is still alive in every cartel that operates today. Thanks for watching, and tell me which dark empire you want explained next.